Hello and welcome to the unboxing and model review of Primaris Inceptors. Easily, these are one of my favourite units from the Primaris release. I was a bit iffy on them at first, but once actually getting to play with them, they're a surprisingly solid unit. Now this box is the minimum squad size, unlike the other Primaris releases, but similar to the Aggressors, of 3 instead of a box of 6. It also has the option for closed heads, as well as on the front box the option for the plasma exterminators. Now on the back, they are the airborne assault troop of the Primaris Marines, and we also get a painting guide for doing different things. I think the key thing different here that we haven't really seen before, other than the helmet, is the new assault bolter, as opposed to the heavy shield from the older sculpt, if you can even call it older. This looks a lot better and will probably drop a lot of the issues people have with the Inceptors with the incredibly silly looking shield. So let's open this up and have a look. Okay, nothing left in there. Oh, there's the flight stands. So we get, there should be 3, but I've only got 2. Shame unless it's, there it is. So we get 3 of the stands. These look completely identical to the ones in the Dark Imperium box. The Dark Imperium transfer sheet for doing all infantry. Again, it's only Ultramarines, unlike the previous editions. 3 bases for them, same size as the previous ones, and then the instructions. It's doing Primaris Inceptors with plasma exterminators or with assault bolters. So it seems to be another CAD one where we follow the steps as is to build the core bodies, and then we move on to building the assault bolters using this. Interestingly enough, it looks like you can do a pretty simple swap out for these. There doesn't seem to be a lot of overlapping parts from just how I'm looking here. So you should be fully capable of doing a plasma option and a assault bolter option and just really magnetizing it. Though I'll let you know if that's really possible once building it. I am going to be building these with assault bolters. Again, that's just repeated, and then we do the same for the Inceptor Sergeant with plasma exterminators or assault bolters. And then we move on to the rules. These rules look like all the others. They are the essential core rules, but they look exactly the same as what is seen in the codex. And now we're on to the sprues, the fun part. So unlike, let's just try and line these up. Yeah, these aren't duplicating sprues. These are 100% unique, unlike the previous 2. Well, previous one, the Hellblasters video isn't up yet. Okay, so this is the plasma and assault bolter arm. So the plasma exterminators, assault bolters, are in 2 parts. Those new shields I was talking about, they look a lot better. They, like a lot of people, they were one of my main gripes with the previous model. But they do look like really good now. The bodies look lighter than what is seen on the previous ones. I'll have to do a comparison once these are built. The boots look the same, and then we're on to the other option, which is all the heads, etc. Similar to the other Primaris releases, you have the option for building non-sergeants here, as well as a sergeant helmet, and the option to do all the closed helmets as well. Pretty glad to see that, and it will be cool to see how it goes. I might do a closed helmet one, I haven't decided yet. Yeah, all these sculpts look really good, and I'm looking forward to putting them together. So I'll cut back once that's done. And here we have the fully built Inceptors. This was a really good kit to put together. It went together really well, really easily. Really the only issue was the flight stands, but no more than they were in the Dark Imperium box set. It's just a little blob of super glue. I found, personally, just because they were such smooth surfaces, just giving it a little scratch with a file first made it hold just that little bit better. The poses are interesting, but it seems they're very limited in their pose. The arms, etc. can only really be put on in one way. Fortunately, you can clip the pegs off the arms and pose them differently if you wanted to. The legs, again, they're really limited to the body you're putting them on because there's a little slot there. Though if you were to snip that off, you could theoretically and quite feasibly swap the legs as well, just to create the different poses. The heads work very similar to how they did in the Dark Imperium box set, with it being a little notch that you can line up, or you can snip the nub off and line them up. The other big difference, like I said, is the fact the assault bolters are now a lot different, and in my opinion a lot better. They reflect the artwork seen in the codex better now, where it looks like these are grips, so you can hold the weapon two-handed potentially. I've decided to go and build these with a Sergeant and 2 Inceptors, purely because I'll probably, if I'm running freeze, I'll use these just because they look better. All in all though, is a really good kit. I was really happy with it. The only issue other than the fly stand was the shields took a little bit of wiggle work to put on. They don't quite slot in. As for the magnetizing plasma exterminators, I can't see any reason why they couldn't when I was messing around the model. If you just choose not to glue the cable on the back to just underneath the backpack, it's a pretty simple conversion. The other thing I found is the backpack also holds really tightly to the models. I chose not to do this, but I could see it quite feasibly being that you keep the body and the backpack, the jump pack, sorry, separate, and then for ease of transport you just slide the dude out, and then it just keeps the jump pack and the cover stuck to the stand, so it's a little bit easier to transport. But yeah, that's my final thoughts on the kit. It's an awesome little kit. It goes together like a dream. No serious complaints from me. So that's been That Welsh Nerd. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe to be notified of more content. And I'll see you in the next one.